shot this morning in downtown Denver. What we've learned about the victims.
A plane crashes right near homes in Broomfield. We have new details from witnesses ahead of an update from investigators this morning.
And the NHL says this was fair play during Saturday's Avalanche game, but the backlash has police involved now. Certainly it's gotten intense on the ice between the Avs and Blues. Game 4 is tonight. We'll get to that preview here in just a second. A look from downtown shows a nice silhouette of the skyline there. Some clouds overhead, but nothing like we saw over the weekend.
No, we can deal with rain, right? Yes. Rain this time of year is okay. The snow this weekend was brutal in some neighborhoods, and we're still seeing some snow right now in through the northern and central mountains. It was such a good news, bad news scenario for some areas, obviously, with the power outages and the branches and trees down. Now we have some showers coming in off the east side of that. You can see closer to Fort Collins, north up into Wyoming. So a few thunderstorms and scattered showers are going to be possible today. We'll see that here in town as well. We had some sunshine about an hour ago, and now it's been cloudy, mid to upper 40s right now here in town, and winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Things will slowly warm today. We'll be at right around 55, 56 degrees by noon, and then we'll hit a high close to 60 this afternoon. So that's about 10 to 12 degrees below normal. We're typically low to mid 70s this time of year. Denver 62, Evergreen today 51, Estes Park you're at a chilly 48. So cool and wet this afternoon. It's going to be even cooler and probably wetter tomorrow on Tuesday. I'll show you that here in just a few minutes.
A new crash out to the west side of town. 26th and Wadsworth slows it down coming down from I-70 over to I-70. So right over in that area here coming down from I-70. One big problem over here to the west is Highway 6 is closed down for this rollover gravel truck just after tunnel number 1. Take a look from the camera up there, and you can see this is all the gravel right here that came out of that truck. It's over on its side. No injuries to the driver. I've seen him up walking around, obviously shaken up, but the gravel cleanup is going to take some time. Upright the truck, haul it out of there, and then of course clean up all that gravel. So I-70 is your alternate. Take a look at the drive on 6th Avenue. Getting better. The crash that we had right before Federal is all cleared up, but we were still heavy from Wadsworth. Now it is starting to pick up. I just saw a camera there at Sheridan, and it is starting to get better. The crash we had over here on the east side of town in eastbound I-70 over by Peoria is cleared up. Still a couple extra minutes out there through Central Park, and the rest of the drive is fairly quiet with some busy areas here and there.
Well, Excel had hoped to have all the power outages from last weekend's snowstorm restored by last night, but there are still more than 1,200 customers still in the dark. Crews made great progress, though. At the height of the weekend storm, more than 330,000 customers had their power knocked out.
Some countries and cities are opening up special drop-off sites for debris. Jefferson County has one at the fairgrounds. Golden, Inglewood, and Arvada also have special dump sites for storm debris. Denver, Aurora, and Boulder are not planning anything special. Yard waste is also collected in your regular trash. Denver, for example, restricts branches, though, to 4 inches in diameter and no longer than 4 feet, and they must be tied in a bundle.
Well, a small plane just barely missed several homes when it crashed into a Broomfield neighborhood over the weekend, killing both people on board. First responders say it was a miracle no one on the ground was hurt. Denver 7's Veronica ACOSTA joins us live from the scene, which is still blocked off as people are leaving for work or school today.
A small area in this neighborhood is still blocked off this morning, Brian. As you can imagine, really terrifying for the people who live here. And take a look just how close that crash was to some of the houses here. Just 1 feet away, another across the street, and of course, a whole neighborhood behind the leftover portion of that crash as well. Now, yesterday was a really nice day. People were out walking their dogs when that crash happened. We spoke with one woman who lives in this neighborhood and heard the crash as she was getting ready. Take a listen to what she said.
My husband was saying, I said, it sounds like a plane crash to me. And he said, you know, we listened and it was odd because there wasn't any bang, bang, bang. It was just this thud.
Now, Sherry Jones, who you just heard from there, also told us her neighbors were among the first out of their homes checking on that plane crash and the victims. She told us those neighbors tried to help the victims, but realized they were dead, unfortunately, pretty quickly. The single-engine plane came down in this small neighborhood called the Anthem Ranch subdivision. It all happened before noon yesterday. The plane took off from the Erie Municipal Airport, and according to the FAA registry, it was a 56-year-old plane. So now comes that full-blown investigation into how exactly this happened FAA and NTSB, they're in charge of that. Now, we expect to hear more from officials later this morning, and of course, we'll keep you updated on what else they have to say. We're in Broomfield this morning. I'm Veronica, ACOSTA, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. And this is the second deadly crash in Broomfield in just a few weeks. Another pilot was killed when a single-engine plane crashed at El Dorado Boulevard and Interlochen Loop on May 11th. He had taken off from the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport.
Well, we are working to learn more about 3 people shot in downtown Denver early this morning. It happened on Lawrence Street, not far from the Denver Rescue Mission. Police say the victims include 2 men and 1 woman. Police tell Denver 7 they are working to develop information on a suspect. Aurora police, meanwhile, are asking witnesses to come forward after a separate triple shooting. They say it happened after a fight outside an apartment complex. This is video from the scene Sunday outside Park Place at Expo Apartments off South Havana and Exposition. All 3 people shot have serious injuries, but they are expected to be okay. And 2 kids are in the hospital this morning after they were shot inside the Citadel Mall in Colorado Springs. At about 6 p.m. last night, officers arrived and found a 12-year-old girl who was shot and began first aid on her. They believe she was just a bystander in the food court area. Officers later found another victim, a boy who had also been shot. Police did not reveal his age, but they believe he was the intended target of the shooter. The shooter is now in custody.
Firefighters are making progress on 2 wildfires burning in the southwest part of our state. The Plumtop fire near Pagosa Springs is more than 700 acres and 33% contained. Evacuation orders are still in effect. About 100 miles to the northwest of that, firefighters are getting the upper hand on the Sims fire. It's burned more than 300 acres near Ouray. It's 90% contained, and firefighters expect to have it fully contained by tomorrow. Over the weekend, President Biden said monkeypox is something everyone should be concerned about. He has walked that back a bit, now saying the U.S. is ready to respond to the virus rarely seen outside of Africa. Denver 7's Christian Lopez has the context of this and what else you need to know about this new virus making headlines.
President Biden sent a more encouraging message this morning saying that the smallpox vaccine would be effective against the monkeypox. He also added that there would be enough vaccine supply in the U.S. if it was needed. Monkeypox is rarely found outside of Africa, but so far there have been 80 confirmed cases worldwide, and there are another 50 suspected cases. This disease is similar to smallpox with milder symptoms. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks to recover from monkeypox, but it can be deadly in some cases. Experts say while people should be careful, they don't think this rises to the level of concern we saw with COVID-19.
This is a virus that's not nearly as transmissible as something like COVID-19. It requires very close, some people say face-to-face intimate contact. Its transmissibility is way down. And it's important to remember that because it does have some resemblance to smallpox, although it produces much less severe disease, we have all of these antiviral drugs, at least 2 different antiviral drugs and 3 different vaccines.
There have been 2 cases of monkeypox confirmed in the U.S., one in New York and one in Massachusetts, and there is a 3rd case being investigated in Florida. Reporting this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Well, the Avs have regained their lead in the playoff series against the St. Louis Blues. Game 4 is tonight after they beat the Blues Saturday 5-2.
Yeah, little controversy with the win, though, over this play. About 7 minutes in, Nazem Kadri of the Avs and a Blues player were chasing a loose puck. They collided, and it caused Kadri to barrel into the Blues goalie, who is now out for the rest of the series with a knee injury.
You know, defenseman kind of collided with me and pushed me into him. So, you know, had that not been the case, I don't think I would have hit him at all. It's a loose puck. I'm just trying to bang it in.
The refs did not call a penalty on the play, and the NHL says it is no longer looking into the incident. However, Kadri has received threats after the play, so the Avs say they're working with law enforcement to investigate. The puck drops tonight at 7:30.
It's the last week of school for several metro districts. Today is the last day of class for Adams 14. 3 districts, including Jeffco, wrap up on Wednesday, followed by 6 more districts out for the summer on Thursday. Cherry Creek finishes Friday, and for Denver, they have another week getting out on June 3rd.
If you're looking for something to do this summer, reservations open this morning at 10 for Hanging Lake, the beautiful Green Clear Lake in a basin in Glenwood Canyon. There are several waterfalls that feed into the lake. The trail to it, though, was wiped out during flooding and mudslides last year. A temporary one is scheduled to open June 25th. Permits are $12 a person. Reservations will be on the website visitglenwoodsprings.com. Tons of baby formula has made its way to the U.S., but not for store shelves, where the latest stockpile of baby food is headed to instead.
And all 5 groups looking to buy the Broncos have submitted their bids, setting up a new timeline when we could learn who the next owner is.